Hello, and thank you for checking out this Ghost Recon Breakpoint any percent no damage run. This no damage run was more of a meme run for fun once I realized the strategy worked to eliminate Cole Walker at the very start of the game, and took 3 total attempts. 1 to route, 1 to practice without HUD elements, and then what you're seeing here, which was the first recorded attempt. The majority of my commentary will highlight combat strategy and instances where I can take damage. If you have questions, feel free to leave a comment. Otherwise, sit back, relax, and thank you for joining me for another no damage challenge. So as we get started here, I do want to touch on the settings at the very beginning. So as I made the new file and it brings up the settings, so I chose Immersive and then just put it all the way to the right, which is the hardest settings. Technically that's not true. You could make it a little bit harder by turning off all HUD elements, so you wouldn't see your ammo, you wouldn't see any objective markers, things like that. But to be honest, it's really not like, it really doesn't matter because of the route you're going to take. The enemies generally are always going to be in the same position, and the strategy will always happen the same way. So I'll commentate on this as if there was no HUD elements. But know that if you did want to do this, I feel like anybody could do this run. This was very, very quick to route out and get done. I think less than 30 minutes from the idea until this recording you're seeing. So if you want to try this for yourself, feel free. It's pretty fun. But what we're going to do is after we heal up, which is something you're going to have to do so that you can actually move quickly. Once we heal up, you're going to pop a 180 and you're going to run to the river. And then you're just going to put that river on your right, and you're just going to follow it all the way down. Now, once we get to the end of the river, it's going to curve off to the left, and we're just going to follow that to the left. And in the 2 attempts that I did before that I mentioned, where the first one was me kind of just routing and making sure I understood where to go, so I used the compass and all that kind of stuff, had markers. And then for the second one, I turned all that off just to practice not having those visual aids. Both of those attempts, there were enemies up here with a motorcycle. For whatever reason on this attempt, there was not. So as I get up here, what I'm doing right now is I'm letting my stamina rebuild so I can quickly move into position. And as I come out of the water, so I can quickly move into position. And then take out those enemies and grab that bike to get to the base that we're going to go to quicker. However, when I got here, generally they'd be on the other side of these rocks where I'm looking at. They weren't here, and that was kind of confusing for me, but haven't spent a whole lot of time doing this. Like I said, it was 2 attempts, so this must be an RNG element, which is fine. They weren't here, so okay, cool, no problem. I just turn to the right, and I'm basically looking towards the bridge that you can see right there in the middle of the screen. And we're going to go that direction because basically in that direction over this hill is a base. And that base has many, many, many enemies, many vehicles, but it also has a helicopter. And speaking of helicopters, there's one flying overhead. That was something that also didn't happen in the 2 learning attempts right before this. So just took the prone position there and I hope they didn't spot me. So we're going to continue towards the base. Now, like I said, this base has a helicopter, which is important. We need that. But more importantly, it's the type of helicopter it is. So it's a fast attack, like a light attack helicopter. And it's got a chain gun, a Gatling gun, whatever you want to call it, mounted to the front of it. That's very, very important because the way that we're going to implement this strategy against Cole Walker requires us to do a high volume of damage very, very quickly. So what most people call high DPS, to burn through what we need to burn through to expose him so that we can kill him and take him out. So as we approach the base, you're always going to approach from this same direction. There's a open hole in the fence, there's a door, and as you can see, there's a soldier moving from right to left. This will always happen in that this soldier will pace in this area. So we're going to go ahead and take him out, and then we're going to pick up his weapon. Normally I would pick up a weapon from the guys at the bike, but since they didn't spawn, I picked up this one. Unlucky for me, this is a shotgun, which is useless. I cannot use this in this area because I won't have the precision and effective range that I need. So as as we pick that up, we're going to move around and we're going to hide right behind this truck. And what I'm looking for are these guys. There's going to be 2 of them right up here on the top that are approaching down this walkway. And so we're just going to take them out. So I swap over to my pistol because, again, the shotgun will not have the range for accuracy here. And then as they come down, I'm going to shoot. Now, what I did wrong here was I stood up. I should have stayed crouched. That's fine. We missed that shot. We got the other 2 shots. We're good to go. So now I'm just making sure that there's a guy that's down here at this building, and sometimes he will walk out to the left. So I was just making sure that he didn't path out to the left, and that he wasn't going to see me as I was routing over here. So as we come up here, I'm going to go ahead and swap to this AUG, which is an assault rifle, which is good. That's perfect. We're going to go ahead and take this guy out. I realized that I'm on full auto, so I changed it to single fire in case I need it against Cole Walker. And then we're going to move to the top of this building and take this chopper. Now, the other reason why I went up there is not only to swap the weapon, but to also see if there was a guy on top of this building. Because I did notice that was a possibility. So if there was a guy here, we could take him out from back there. Now we're going to take this guy out. That's the last guy we're going to take out. We're going to get in this chopper, and then we're just going to go straight up. So by default, that's holding shift, and it'll take you straight up. And if you do that, they will not engage on you because you can be damaged in a helicopter, and that would be damage, right? So that would be a no-go. So once we get the helicopter, we're going to move in this direction. Now, if you didn't have HUD markers on, if you'll look to your 10 o'clock from where the helicopter is, you'll see some fire. That's basically where we're going. We're going to go to the ridge that fire is on. So that would be your marker if you didn't have HUD elements on. So like I said, having HUD elements on or off really doesn't make a difference because there's very, very good visual markers that follow the river, blah, 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 that right there with the fire on the tree to tell you where to go. So we're going to move into this position. And as we land, we should get pulled into the cutscene if we've done it properly. Once we're in the cutscene, we're going to go ahead and skip out of that cutscene, and then that's where the funny part of this, and well, I think it's hilarious because the fact that you can actually do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to immediately stand up 180, and we're going to get in our chopper. And as we're getting in this chopper and the camera swings back around, you're going to see there's a chopper taking off in front of you. That chopper has Cole Walker in it, and only Cole Walker in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to use that high damage that I talked about earlier, and we're going to put his ass on the ground. Once he's down, I want to make sure that I note where his position is, and then I'm going to turn around, watching his position and find a place to land. 95% of the time, this was where I was able to land. The other percent of the time, I wasn't able to land here because I messed up the strat and he got to fly too far away. I guess it's not 95%. Since I only did 3 attempts, I guess it's 30 or 33%. But anyways, once we have him on the ground and we've landed, you're going to move up to here, and then you just want to make sure that you stay crouched as you approach. And we're going to take basically a big circle around him. Now, I do this counterclockwise. You could do it clockwise. It doesn't matter. But you want to take a big circle around. You're just looking for him. He is the only person that comes out of this helicopter. So basically what we want to do is we want to find him, approach him from the back, and then just for the lulz, we're going to stab the shit out of him and melee kill him. You could fire at him. That's fine. But that's it, guys. So that is this run done in less than 9 minutes. Any percent completion to kill Cole Walker, which is the main objective of the game. So hopefully you liked that. If you did, please like, subscribe, and check out my other no damage runs. And I hope to see you back next time. Thanks very much.